Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into a really practical solution for restoring sexual intimacy, and it's one that doesn't involve any pills. This is a topic that affects millions of people, so let's get right to it.
All right, let's kick things off with a pretty staggering number, 35%. That's roughly the percentage of men who don't get any real benefit from common erectile dysfunction medications, the pills we all hear about. And that number is even higher if you count the guys who can't take them for other health reasons.
So you gotta ask, right? For that huge group of people, what's a reliable alternative when pills are off the table? Well, the answer isn't another prescription. It's a mechanical approach that works totally independently of your body's own chemistry.
And that's where something called a penis sleeve comes in. The best way to think of it is as an external support structure. It's what provides the firmness you need for intercourse, but it doesn't rely on blood flow at all. And that makes it an incredibly dependable solution when the body just can't achieve or maintain an erection on its own.
Okay, so how do these things actually work? What's really interesting is the engineering that separates a device that's effective from one that, well, just isn't. And it all boils down to one word: stability.
You see, the biggest problem with the cheaper, budget sleeves is something called the hinge effect. Because there's nothing really anchoring the device to the body, it can bend or shift at the base during sex, and you can imagine how frustrating that is. It completely defeats the whole purpose of using one in the first place.
So, how do you fix that? Well, the answer is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity: a harness system. It works by anchoring the sleeves securely against your body. This one addition means that all the force from thrusting comes directly from the pelvis, which creates a stable, secure, and totally reliable experience.
Okay, we've got the mechanics down. But who is this really for? Who benefits the most from a device like this? You might actually be surprised by just how broad the applications are. You might think it's just for erectile dysfunction, and yeah, that's a big one. But honestly, the uses go way beyond that. These devices provide critical support for men recovering from prostate surgery. They can help manage premature ejaculation, and they're even used to overcome performance anxiety. It's a tool that tackles both physical and psychological hurdles.
For guys dealing with ED, this is a total game changer. It's a path forward that's completely separate from medication. It gives you a dependable way to be intimate without having to worry about side effects or that nagging question of, is the pill gonna work this time?
And it's also an absolutely invaluable tool for men who are recovering from prostate surgery. It can take up to 2 whole years for those nerves to regenerate, and a sleeve allows couples to keep that physical intimacy alive during that long wait. It also helps manage other common post-surgery issues, like leakage or changes in length.
And the benefits don't stop there. By slightly reducing direct sensitivity, it can be a huge help for premature ejaculation. And, maybe most importantly, it can shatter that psychological loop of performance anxiety. When the fear of losing an erection is just gone, taken completely off the table, all that mental pressure tends to just melt away.
All right, so if you're thinking this might be an option, what's the #1 most critical thing you need to look for? Hands down, it all comes down to the material the sleeve is made from.
And this is where you really need to pay attention, because there is a huge difference between medical-grade platinum-cured silicone and the cheap, rubbery stuff, often called TPE or TPR, that you find in budget sleeves. And we're not just talking about how it feels. This directly impacts your safety, how long the device will last, and how well it performs.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Platinum silicone is non-porous, which means it can't harbor bacteria. It's hypoallergenic, it can last for over a decade, and you can fully sterilize it with heat. That cheap TPE stuff, it's porous, it can start to break down in just a few months, and it can even contain unsafe chemicals.
So what's the proof? How do you know it's safe? You look for official compliance with safety standards, like the in vitro epiderm and epivaginal toxicity tests. Now, you don't have to memorize those names. Just know that this kind of certification is your guarantee that the material has been scientifically proven to be non-irritating and completely safe for internal use. It really is the gold standard for body safety.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the practical side of things. How easy is it to actually use and take care of one of these quality sleeves?
It's honestly as simple as 1, 2, 3. Lube up, slide it on, and then secure the harness. And please, do not skip the lubricant. Using a good quality water-based one is absolutely key for both comfort and getting a secure fit.
And cleaning? Just as straightforward. Because that silicone is non-porous, a simple wash with soap and water is all you need. And for a really deep clean, you could even boil it or run it through the dishwasher. That way you know it's perfectly hygienic every single time.
At the end of the day, all the technical details, all the science, that's not really the point.
The real goal here is human connection. For so many guys, that feeling of getting their confidence back is the single most important benefit of all.
So, ready to figure out what's right for you? The big takeaway here is that understanding your own needs and the options out there is the absolute first step toward finding a solution that's really going to work for you and your partner.
If you want to check out some of the models that are made with that certified skin-safe silicone, or if you just need some help with sizing, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen or just visit the website shown here. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.